I've thought about this several times and I didn't want to say it because, you know, like whenever you say something in your brain translated as being true, something about the brain and its workings, right? So I was afraid of saying it and it being something that stays true to me where I'm never ever confident without my hijab on. But I think for me, the type of person where when I think something about myself or a thought in general, if I don't say it out loud, if that thought makes me uncomfortable and I never say it out loud, it's just gonna be in my head for as long as it can until I say that thought out loud. So I'm gonna say it. I do not feel pretty without my hijab on. And it's not like I think I'm the ugliest person on earth whenever I take off my hijab. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't feel pretty majority of the time without my hijab on. Cause there are some days where I take off my hijab and babes, I'm literally the most gorgeous. Okay, where I feel like, oh baby, I'm the shit. Like, yes. And then I'm like, wait, why don't I post on Instagram? Okay. But you get the point where I feel pretty, I want to be seen. There are those days, but those are like rare occasions where I'm like, ooh, baby, everybody gotta see my beauty, okay? I can't keep this beautiful face, beautiful everything to only me. Like, babes, that's greediness. Biblical greed, that is that. So I'm like, why don't I share it with the world? There are days where I feel like that, but majority of the time, I'm like, ooh, thank God I wear the hijab, because imagine I'm going out looking like this. Scary. I think it started when I would see those TikTok or Instagram reels where it's supposed to be like motivational to like keep on wearing the hijab, where they're like, oh, you guys, you girls are so lucky that I wear the hijab, because if I didn't, baby, your mans would have been getting took. And I'm like, really? Because when I take my hijab off, baby, your man is gonna be running. He's gonna be finding places to hide. So what are you guys talking about? I've ruminated about this topic quite a lot for I think for years. And I think it comes from a place where I'm not really familiar with my face without my hijab on. Because if you wear the hijab, majority of the time, your hair is covered. When I first put on the hijab, I was 12 years old. By that time, I've went like what? Majority of my life. I've still went majority of my life without wearing the hijab. So when I first put it on, it was a bit odd. Like I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I've talked about this before. But when it comes to appearance wise, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't think I was ugly, but I also didn't think I was pretty. And I put the hijab on. I did not know how to make friends, so I thought, oh, baby, okay, so the hijab is making me even uglier to the point where people don't even want to approach me like, hello. So, you know, I hated myself with the hijab, but I didn't necessarily hate my face with the hijab on, if that makes sense. It was more of coming from a place of lack of self-esteem with myself and not just my physical appearance, you know? During then, had I been given a chance where it's like, oh, Lena, you can either wear the hijab or not wear the hijab, babe, the hijab would have been snatched off, okay? I'm not joking. But now I have gotten so confident with my hijab on, like, babes, I think I'm pretty with my hijab on, okay? To the point where I don't really, like, ever imagine myself taking it off. If I were to take it off outside, it makes me, like, uncomfortable. I don't ever want to do that. But it took time for me to get to that point, and I think now, because I see myself majority of the time with the hijab on, I've gotten so comfortable and confident with seeing my face covered. Wait, what? With seeing my face with my hair covered, like whether it be with a bonnet, a turban, an actual hijab. So my confidence started growing from there when I started doing work where, wait, what? When I started feeling confident in my face, my physical appearance, it started for me getting that confidence with my hair covered, and it's been like that for years. So now that there are some days where I don't have my hair covered, I'm like, baby, who is that? Like, seriously, like, who's that? So I think it's more coming from a place where it's unfamiliarity rather than it being like absolute, like, how do I say this, rather than it being me thinking, oh, like, baby, I'm ugly, like I'm chop shit without my hijab on. So I think if I were steps that I can take to fix this. Okay, now that I actually acknowledge that, you know, this is a thought that I've been having for a while, and it's about time that I say it out loud so I can work towards fixing it. I think now that I've started whatchamacallit, making sure that whenever I have a chance to not wear the hijab, I take it, okay? Because I'm at home, babes. I put on the bonnet when I'm about to record for TikTok. Hijab is on. I covered my head. So it's like those little things where I rarely get any other chance to see myself without my hair. And also because most of the hairstyles that I can do is impractical with the hijab on. Okay, for example, I take out my hair, I'm like, hey baby, let me do a wash and go, but I have to go out the next day. Babes, that wash and go is not gonna look a scrum delicious, okay? Because I have to make sure my hair has to be in a ponytail. If I don't put my hair in a ponytail, baby, my hair gonna look like this, okay? Like, huge. I'm not gonna want that. So things like that, where it's like I have to make sure that the hairstyle that I'm doing when I do take out my protective styles, my braids, my cornrows, my twists, I have to make sure that it's practical for the hijab. And the thing is, my forehead is huge, okay? Like, actually, my forehead is huge, I'm not joking. So whenever I do ponytails, and I have a pretty round face, so whenever I do ponytails with my huge forehead, it's uncanny, okay? I don't go like that. I don't like seeing myself like that. I much prefer my hair when I don't have it blow dried, but I can't have it that way again because I wear the hijab and I have to think about the practicality of it. Like, hey, I can't have my afro out. Why? Maybe because I don't want my hair to look humongous, okay? So it's like everyday a ponytail. I take my hair, blow dry, ponytail, ponytail, every single damn day. So how am I gonna get comfortable with seeing my face in a certain way? So I did try whatchamacallit, last month or 2 months ago, where when I did take out my protective, I think I had in twist or something. When I took those out, I did a month where I had to, obviously I blow dry my hair. I didn't want mega mine, okay? My forehead is already mega. I didn't want mega forehead and mega head. Babes, no. So I did try like a few hairstyles here and there. Well, it's like, hey, wait, so I'm actually pretty. But it's just now that I did like take that step, I'm like, okay, so there's, oh my goodness, I'm slouching so much, guys, let me change the angle. I took that step. I know that I just need to make sure that I expose myself. Exposure therapy, like, babes, that's what I need. Non-hijab exposure therapy, non-head covering yeah, that's what I need to make sure that I gain back my confidence, because I worked hard to actually like feel confident with my hijab on, to feel confident in my face pretty much, because I didn't really care about it before, but now I'm like, hey, maybe let's not go around thinking that ugly my whole life, you know? Like, it's just little things like that where I did have to like work on my self-esteem a lot. And even now, I don't think I'm the most confident babe. You know how everybody take out their picture, take out your phone in the train, you're like, picture. I can't do that, okay? I haven't gotten to that level of confidence yet. There are some days where I take out my camera and I see my face, and you're in the corner, you're also seeing my face. You want to see that? Okay, I know they care. But some days I'm like, how can I check my face without making sure nobody sees what I see in the camera, okay? That's what I struggle with. There are some days where I don't care, but most days I do in fact care. So I think it's a matter of working on that self-esteem, and also making sure that I expose myself to my face without anything covering my hair. Don't care if it's a bonnet, okay? I'm not doing that. Now that I have cornrows, and again, I mentioned before, I have a big forehead and round face. Like, baby, who is the, okay, like, Lena the beautiful, Lena the pretty, Lena the gorgeous, Lena, who is that? Maybe that's not me. But now that I have like forced myself to get used to seeing my face that way, I've gotten a little bit confidence, yeah. Not to the point where I've taken a picture of myself with those cornrows in, okay? But hey, every step is still some step, okay? Small steps are still steps, okay? Yeah, that is where I am at right now, and I'm so glad I actually like talked about this, because it's been on my chest. I'm like, babe, am I ugly? But I don't feel ugly most times. I'm like, oh, but there are days where I'm like, oh baby, like I'm the finest person on earth and everybody deserves to see me. But it's like, wait, but majority of the time I'm like, ooh, thank God for the hijab. But I still feel, yeah, nah. I'm so glad I got this out, and I don't know if it's just a me thing. Maybe it is, okay? But I'm hoping that I can maybe relate to someone on this, because imagine if everybody else felt pretty without your hijab on, and I was the only one. No, please. If even if it's not relatable, please lie to me, okay? Because I cannot feel this way all by myself, okay? But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to do something like this where I just brain dump what has been bothering me inside my little head, yeah. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and inshallah I'll see you in the next one.